She thought she hit a dog. It was Halloween night. Foggy. Late. Dorothy Gibson was driving home down a rural Wisconsin road when her front tire lurched over something heavy. She pulled over, got out, looked behind the car. Nothing. Then she heard it. Footsteps. Fast. Getting louder. She turned and saw something charging at her from the tree line. Something that ran on 2 legs. Something with a broad chest, thick gray fur, and a face that looked like a wolf. She barely made it back to her car. As she floored it, she felt the back end drop, then lift, as something grabbed the trunk and held on. The scratches were still there the next morning, and Dorothy Gibson was not the first. Elkhorn, Wisconsin. Population roughly 6,500, the kind of small town people call charming. Picturesque storefronts, quiet streets, Christmas lights in December. Locals nicknamed it the Christmas card town. It wasn't the kind of place where things like this happen, but they happen anyway. In 1936, a night watchman named Mark Shackleman was on patrol at St. Coletta School, a facility for children with disabilities, when he noticed a large, shadowy figure near a burial mound on the grounds. He assumed it was an animal. Then it stood up. The creature rose to over 6 feet tall, muscular, human-shaped but covered in thick fur, with long nails, a wolf-like face and glowing eyes. The air around it carried a heavy stench, rotting flesh. Shackleman backed away slowly and watched it disappear into the dark. He came back the next night. The creature was there again, and this time it made a sound, half growl, half something else, something that almost sounded like words. Shackleman never spoke publicly about it for decades. He told almost no one, because who would believe him? For 50 years, the fields around Elkhorn stayed quiet. Then, 1989 arrived. It was around 1:30 in the morning. Lori Andreezy was driving home down Bray Road after her shift managing a bar called the Jury Room in Elkhorn. She was rounding a curve when she saw something off to the side of the road. She thought it was a person, crouching, hunched over something. She slowed down, turned on her high beams. That's when she realized it was kneeling. Its elbows were raised, claws facing outward. It was holding something between those long claws. Roadkill. It wasn't running from the headlights. It turned and stared at her. Andreezy later said the creature's eyes were glowing, even though her headlights weren't shining directly on them. She got within 6 feet of it, before panic took over. She drove home. Didn't tell many people. She said later, "You don't mistake something like that." Around the same time, dairy farmer Scott Bray reported seeing a strange dog in his pasture, larger than a German shepherd with pointed ears, gray and black fur, and a chest that seemed bulkier in front, like something built for power rather than speed. He followed it toward a pile of rocks. It vanished. In March of 1990, dairy farmer Mike Etten saw something on Bray Road holding roadkill in its front paws, sitting on its haunches the way a raccoon might, except this thing was enormous. In December of 1990, an 11-year-old girl named Heather Bowie was playing outside with her family near Bray Road when they spotted what they thought was a large dog. Then it stood up. She didn't talk about it until she heard another girl describing the same thing on the school bus. None of these people knew each other. None had compared notes. None had gone to the paper. Then came Halloween, 1991. Dorothy Gibson was driving along Bray Road through the fog when her tire lifted off the ground. She stopped, got out, saw nothing behind the car. Then she heard something moving fast through the dark, and a massive figure came running at her, upright, 2 legs, enormous chest, wolf's face. She made it back to the car just in time. The creature grabbed the rear of the vehicle. She could feel the weight shift as she accelerated. It held on, then let go. When she got home, the scratches on the trunk told the rest of the story. She went back to that road later that same night. She'd been taking a young girl trick-or-treating and had to finish the route. She saw a large shape moving by the roadside again. She told the girl to lock her door and drove past without stopping. When Linda Godfrey, a reporter for the local Walworth County Week, went to speak with the county animal control officer about these reports, she found something she didn't expect. He already had a manila folder labeled Werewolf, stuffed with documented sightings and unusual incidents. Godfrey was skeptical. She was a journalist. Her job was to find the explanation. The paper assigned her to cover it. She interviewed witnesses, and the more she talked to them, the harder it became to dismiss what they were saying. These weren't people looking for attention. Some had kept their stories private for years. Several came forward only after hearing that someone else had seen the same thing. After Godfrey published the accounts of Gibson and Andresi, more people came forward, witnesses who had been sitting on their experiences, afraid of being mocked. One man came forward to describe an encounter his own father had near Bray Road, something he had never told anyone outside the family. The details matched the modern sightings almost exactly. The story spread nationally. TV crews showed up. Then came the ridicule. Werewolf parties, prank signs in yards, t-shirts. Most witnesses were mocked. Some were discredited publicly. The circus that followed made it harder, not easier, to separate what was real from what was noise. But the sightings didn't stop. Witnesses across more than 6 decades described the same basic thing. 6 to 7 feet tall, bipedal, covered in brown-gray fur, with a wolf-like head, pointed ears, long claws, and eyes that caught light in an unnatural way. Some sightings were at night. Some were in broad daylight. Some witnesses saw it running on 2 legs. Others watched it drop to all 4s and cover ground faster than any known animal. So what were they seeing? Skeptics point to misidentification: a large dog, a bear standing upright, a coyote with mange. Wisconsin does have gray wolves and black bears. Combine poor lighting, an unexpected encounter, and genuine fear, and the human brain can fill in details that weren't there. Others believe it's connected to something older. The Potawatomi and other Native American tribes in the region have legends of shape-shifting beings, creatures that blur the line between human and animal. The burial mound where Mark Shackleman had his 1936 encounter wasn't just empty land. It was a sacred site. Some researchers connect Bray Road to a broader pattern of Dogman sightings reported across Michigan, Illinois, and the upper Midwest, a phenomenon Linda Godfrey spent years documenting, eventually compiling hundreds of sightings that describe something eerily consistent. Godfrey herself never landed on a single answer. She wrote that there's a high probability that everyone is not always seeing the same thing, that there could be a biological, physical animal seen by some, while others see phantoms or supernatural entities from a variety of sources. That ambiguity is what makes Bray Road different from a lot of cryptid stories. The witnesses aren't claiming to have photographed something. They're not selling merchandise. Many of them, farmers, bar managers, teenagers, dairy workers, reported their encounters reluctantly, and some only after years of silence. Dorstein Gibson had claw marks on her car. Lori Andresi said, to this day, she believes what she saw was satanic, not a werewolf, not a bear, something conjured. Whatever it was real enough to leave a mark. Bray Road still exists. It's still rural, still dark. Sightings have slowed since the 1990s, but they haven't stopped entirely. And the county animal control office, somewhere, still has that folder, the one labeled werewolf.